Hey, what's up everybody? So today I'm at the shop right now and I'm going to do a little bit of feeding and I want to share it with you, show you guys what we have in store right now. And with me is Ryan. And you ready to feed some fish?
Sure, man. You're ready. Let's go.
He's got his Batman cup here. Okay, let's feed some fish. Who we feeding today? Well, we got a bunch of clownfish, huh?
Yep.
We got some maroons, some ocellaris, some perculas. Look at this. All these different clownfish we have. Woo. Nice little hawkfish here. They're always hungry. What are we gonna be feeding today?
We're gonna be feeding brine shrimp, spirulina brine, squid, and a variety.
So in the cooler, we have some clams on the half shell, which that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna feed that to the harlequin. We have some all Hikari food. We got the omega enriched brine. We got the spirulina brine. We got the mice shrimp, and we have some bloodworms down there also. We do have dry foods here at the store, but we don't use them because our quarantine takes are 10, 29 gallons, and these food are high in nutrients, which means they pollute the water quicker. And we're just kind of limited on the filtration that we have in QT, so we don't want to pollute the water too much. We also have some live brine too, which we'll probably add in there. You scooping out that brine shrimp? All right, here we go. Got a quart container full of brine shrimp that's ready to feed. These guys are gonna be real happy. Here you go. Well, they know when it's lunchtime, don't they?
Yep.
Now, are we gonna give the hawkfish brine, or are we gonna give him something a little bigger? Give him some brine, let's see how he reacts to it. Oh, he likes it. Okay. I've never seen a hawkfish turn down food, no matter what it is. Valentini puffer, chomping away. Oh, so real quick, I want to show you guys something really cool. Now, this is a problem here that we have in South Florida. These are tokay geckos. They are one of the largest species of geckos, and they came here as part of the reptile pet trade, and they basically are now an invasive species here in Florida. And in the area where this store is located, there are a ton of these. So Tommy goes out and goes herping, and he'll every so often come back with these guys. So it's good because we're taking them out of the wild and we're putting them back into captivity, so they're not competing with native species. But yeah, I just thought these guys are pretty cool. And when they make noises, they sound like a little squeaky toy. We got a whole bunch of chalk basslets in these 29-gallon quarantine tanks, and they are always hungry. Look at them go. They love the brine shrimp. The rabbit fish, I like to feed the brine shrimp, but also I like feeding them this red ogo. We'll see how he'll react to this. One of my favorite fish here, the blue reef chromis. I love them, not just because of their bright blue color, but because they like to swim in open spaces, so they kind of fill out a lot of the areas of your tank where there's open water, and they don't really stay hidden, so they're always out and about. I love that. And they're doing really well. Then we're gonna feed the jawfish, which these fish remind me of the characters from SpongeBob. You know, the ones that are like meep, meep, meep. Look at them go. Everybody is going crazy. Plenty of food for everyone. I love these jawfish. I want to get a couple of these in my tank at home. Do you have some in your tank, Ryan?
No, I don't.
No? Yeah, I definitely want a couple of these. They got such cool personalities. And over here we got a tank full of mascobies mixed with chalk basslets. Mascobies, another great fish for a small aquarium. And then everybody's getting some here too. Sailfin Blenny over there. Now we got Paul's eel to eat. He actually ate clams on a half shell. Then we gotta get this big old snowflake eel to eat. Look at this big old hawkfish. Now we're in the back in a 125 gallon, 6 foot long holding tank that we had to set up for an emergency situation. A customer's tank was leaking, so we had to put his fish in here. While we have them here, we are treating them, medicating them. We have a bird-nosed wrasse in here that is freaking awesome. I love this fish. This fish is always hungry. A giant Vlaminghi tang, which is one of the coolest fish ever, but don't ever buy a Vlaminghi tang. They get way too big for your aquarium. They're really cool when you see them in the pet stores. They're only about this big. They're affordable, but they get way too big. There is no aquarium out there that's big enough to be able to keep these fish comfortably. All right, so what are we feeding them today, Ryan?
So we're feeding them squid, omega brine, and live brine.
All right. Let's see, everybody likes it. Well, everybody's ready. They're used to this feeding routine already. See, the flame angel is absolutely beautiful. Oh my God, look at the color on that thing. Another beautiful wrasse. All these fish that are in this tank we're all in about a 200 and something gallon tank together. So they're all familiar with each other. So they all get along relatively well. We're keeping them here until they're completely healthy. We medicated them and all that stuff. And then the customer's getting a brand new tank. Once we set that up, get a cycle, these guys will be back in there. Oh, he just jacked that. How bright yellow that yellow tang is. Beautiful. Yeah, for the most part, all these fish look great. The color on them all is really vibrant. They're doing really well. Well, the other reason why I like feeding this red ogo is because unlike the nori sheets, this stuff doesn't just go automatically and decay in your tank. It'll kind of hang out a bit. It doesn't go automatically turn into phosphate and pollute your tank. It stays in your tank. It'll grow in your tank even, and the fish can kind of munch on it as they please, and you don't have to worry about it contaminating your tank as bad. And most of the herbivore fish like it. Flamingis like it. Angelfish will eat it. Fox faces will eat it. So that's a big reason why I like adding it to our feeding regimen. There's our Peterson anemone shrimp right here in our invert tank. Every time I'm by, he knows he's about to get fed, so we're gonna go ahead and drop some food in there for him too. Drop some food in, they can already smell it. There he goes. Collecting as much as he can. There's another one in there somewhere, I'm just not sure where it's at. And then we have Paul Gaffaro's gem tang, who's eating like an absolute champ. So we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of red ogo in there also. Just hopefully boost that immunity. And we'll feed some live brine also. Now remember, these fish are still recovering from marine velvet, so just seeing them eat really makes me happy. I know we're not there yet where we need to be and they got a long way to go, but this makes me feel really good so far. And yes, guys, Paul's fish are still eating really, really good. So that's it. I just wanted to share a quick feeding video with you guys. What we feed here at the shop. It's important when these fish are in quarantine to make sure that they're getting fed multiple times a day, nutritious food. That's why we do like feeding the live brine, and I try to feed as much live algae as I possibly can to the fish that are herbivores. Because they're going through quarantine and because they're stressed and because they have medications in the water with them, it's a lot, so we're just making sure that they're eating good. Now, as far as feeding our coral, We don't. We only have one fish in here, which is a tomato clownfish. She's kind of the guard of the tank, but we don't feed any of our coral. The anemones, maybe a sprinkle of shrimp now and then, but not really. Our nitrates in this tank are reasonable. Our phosphates in this tank are reasonable, so we don't go out of our way to feed any of these coral in this tank. And everybody's doing pretty good for the most part. So this big boy, again, we'll feed little bits and pieces, but really don't go out of the way to feed any of the coral as of right now. And everybody seems to be doing fine for the most part, so maybe down the road that's something we'll consider, but right now we're just getting started, so there's no need for it. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. From both of us, have a good one.
That's it.